located in a wooded area in the area of Bellevue Beach. In conversations with investigators of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, this death does not be suspicious or criminal in nature. I just want to identify that during the course of our investigation, we've obtained in excess of 100 interviews. I'm satisfied to say that based on my review and speaking to my investigative team, I am of the belief that some of these persons who have been interviewed have withheld information. I am also of the belief that persons who have been identified in our investigation have not spoken with my investigative team. So in terms of an update, I have no additional updates at this point in time. However, I am available to take some questions from the media.
Inspector Warren, what did you find, or what evidence was there that led you to believe it was a homicide instead of a missing persons?
Okay. I'm not going to get into the finer details of this particular investigation. However, I will state that as of 7:54 p.m. on June the 7th, 2017, Courtney Lake has basically went off the grid. Ordinarily, if she was away for a period of time, she would reach out to family and friends. Since June the 7th, there's been absolutely no contact or communication with any known family members or friends. There's been no access to her cellular devices, her social media accounts, and financial institutions.
Do you have any reason to believe that Courtney Lake was in the truck with Philip Smith the morning of June 8th?
At this point in time, no.
If Philip Smith, you're saying that he was the only suspect at this time, you've deemed that his death was not criminal in nature. Do you feel that with his death that perhaps new windows could be opened up of opportunity, whereas where you say you've interviewed more than 100 people and you think somebody knows something of the people that you've interviewed, and additionally there's people outside of that that you believe might know something. I guess if I could reframe the question, with Philip Smith's passing, do you think that somebody might feel a little bit more easily available to come forward?
Well, that is one of the reasons why I'm standing here before you today. I'm hoping with his passing that people who have either withheld information or refused to speak with us will now come forward and provide us with that information that we have not previously received.
If you've interviewed hundreds of people and you do believe that someone within that group of people knows something, can't you just easily go back and interview them again and again and again?
We will sit down, my investigative team. We will certainly determine if indeed there's further interviews to be completed with these persons previously interviewed. And if we think that that is a process that could advance our investigation, that will be completed.
Can you tell us about the search of the truck, Philip Stephen Smith's truck? What was uncovered there?
Well, this is still very much an active investigation. That is details I'm not going to disclose at this point in time.
Are there any other suspects that you're looking at aside from Philip Stephen Smith?
As I stated previously, at this point in time in my investigation, and I want to be specific, is that this is still an active investigation. But at this point in time in my investigation, Philip Smith is the only suspect.
Can you tell us about the search of Bellevue, why it was so important to get out there and search so thoroughly?
Well, I guess primarily would be Philip Smith being a suspect in our investigation. I figured it would be paramount to search that specific area, to determine if indeed we could capture any evidence that could assist in our investigation, and also the recovery of Courtney Lake.
Is this a stalling in the case, or what's the next move?
Well, the next move is going to be sat down with my investigative team. I'm hoping that through this media release, as you previously identified, that persons who have not spoken with us or have withheld information will come forward and provide further information to assist in this investigation.
Did Philip Smith leave any clues as to what may have happened?
Based on our search of the area in Bellevue Beach, there was no information no evidence obtained through the course of that search.
So the last known location for his truck was like June 8th, but then what happened heading towards the airport?
Well, that matter's still under investigation.
Okay, but the next time that police were aware of Smith's location was when he was arrested? June, like there's a
Again,
couple weeks between that.
that's information I'm not going to disclose at this time. This is an active investigation.
Can you tell us the significance of him wearing rubber boots at the Ultramar on Higgins Line?
Well, I guess the significance behind that is that I'm hoping through this immediate release that persons who were in the presence of Philip Smith, both prior to 10:04 a.m. On June the 8th and after 10:04 a.m. On June the 8th can identify the clothing description that he was wearing at the time and further provide further information to assist in our investigation.
As inspector, you've just been promoted to this position. Will someone else have to take over as lead investigator of this case now?
My investigative team will remain in place. Although I've been promoted to the rank of inspector, I still will manage this particular investigation. And I've the utmost confidence that my investigative team will remain intact and further be available to investigate any additional information that may be received.
Did Philip Smith have any contact with anybody else between, let's say, the night of June 7th?
Again, I'm sorry, but this is still an active investigation, and unfortunately, I cannot disclose that information.
So are you still actively looking for people of interest in this case?
Well, this is an active investigation. If indeed there's someone in the community that has information that could identify another person of interest, please contact us. Please give us that information. I'm sure that information will be followed up thoroughly.
Are you confident that he never left a note or any type of information that would help you in your investigation?
I can only state that the area of Bellevue Beach was searched, and unfortunately, no evidence was recovered.
I'd like to ask you a little bit about the family's tireless search that they've been conducting in a number of areas. They've covered acres upon acres, as you know, of land. What's your response to that? I mean, are you encouraging them to continue doing those searches on their own? Is the RNC actively doing ground searches as well?
Well, in terms of the RNC, there's sort of two topics there. In sort of the RNC, we will certainly conduct any searches that are required based on factual information that we receive. In terms of the family, yes, I encourage the family. They have a strong group of supporters. Hopefully, those supporters will stay with the family. And yes, I encourage the family and any volunteers that are required to assist to continue in those search efforts.
Over the course of your investigation and the searches, have you been able to narrow in on a particular area where you believe Courtney Lake's body may be?
Well, during the course of my investigation, any area that we felt necessary to be searched has been searched thoroughly.
Did Smith act alone, or did he have help, do you know?
Again, this is still an active investigation, and if indeed there is a person in our community that can assist in that aspect of our investigation, I'd ask that person to contact us immediately.
How many people of interest did you identify or have you identified in this case?
Again, this is still an active investigation. I'm not going to disclose those details at this point in time.
How confident are you that we're going to see a resolve to this case and we're going to find out what actually happened to Courtney Lake?
Well, in terms of guarantees, that's not something I can guarantee. What I can guarantee is that the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary will effectively, thoroughly, and competently review, assess, and investigate every piece of information that we have for as long as we receive that information.
How come it took so long to release that extra footage that you just showed us today, or those images of his whereabouts, the timeline?
Well, integrity of any criminal investigation is paramount. And as the person in charge of this investigation, with my investigative team, we had to be very strategic in terms of when and how we release this information. And I think that at this point in time was the most suitable time to do so.
Were items seized from Smith's house on Alice Drive returned, or are they still in the possession of police?
Again, that's not information I'm going to disclose at this point in time.
So many people have asked this question about if Philip Smith, well, now that you've acknowledged that he was the only suspect in the case, you weren't able to charge him. I don't know whether you didn't have enough evidence, yet you seized his truck and you found a number of things. How were you able to make the jump then to know for certain that this was an active homicide investigation, or that this was going to be a homicide investigation? Courtney Lake was murdered, but Philip Smith is your prime suspect. I mean, there's a big missing link there. How were you able to get from here to there and not be able to have Philip Smith in custody?
You know, unfortunately, that's the specifics of this investigation I cannot get into. You know, we've completed a comprehensive investigation. We spoke to, you know, a large amount of people. There's other investigative procedures and techniques that we've completed. And whereby this is active investigation, I cannot disclose that information. But based on that information that we have received, I am confident that Courtney Lake was murdered. And further, I am confident that Philip Smith is a suspect in that homicide
But
investigation.
for us, from the outside looking in, I mean, can you tell us, how do you know that she died? Like, we don't know, but I would imagine you do. How do you know?
Well, you know, I spoke initially, one of the first questions that I was asked was, again, I spoke about the fact that she's been off the grid. She's totally outside of her character. She has been in contact with family and friends, social media, financial institutions. And in terms of the finer details, unfortunately, I can't get into that, whereby this is still an active investigation.
Why do you feel there's information being withheld by some individuals?
Well, some of the information is contradictory to factual evidence.
So who are you looking to come forward then? Do you think that there's more people to speak?
I'm looking for any person who sits down, listens to any portion of this media release, that feels that they have any information, regardless of how minuscule they may seem, and to come forward and contact the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary. A member of my investigative team will reach out to these persons. We will obtain that information, and that information, once received, will be investigated thoroughly.
Through the more than 80 ground searches that have been conducted, has anything been found of any sort of significance, whether it be, you know, an arm from a set of glasses or something, a content of a purse or anything like that?
In terms of the ground search has been completed, nothing of any evidential value has been received at this point in time.
Can you tell us what you found at Paddy's Pond, the rock quarry there? Was there something found there? There was a search early on by police there, and the rovers were set up there as well.
Torbaven's Pond, I mean.
Yes.
Okay, that's something I can't get into at this point in time.
Did police follow, track, or have any awareness of Smith's whereabouts when he left jail on August 23rd until his death?
Again, that's you know, that's information that will interfere with the integrity of my investigation.
One more, maybe? Do you think that people who do have information are afraid to come forward out of fear of incriminating themselves?
That's obviously a possibility.
All right, so if there's no further questions, perhaps Lisa might want to make her statement this time?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The last 5 months have been nothing but a living hell for our family. The day we found out Courtney had been murdered brought us to our knees. Some mornings I wake up and think, is this real? How is it possible that Courtney is gone forever? Sometimes I don't know if I can breathe, not knowing where she could be. Courtney is missed in so many ways. A very important part of our lives is gone. She was my only daughter. Her dad, Sean, her brother, Colin, Danny and I, and all of our family feel like someone has cut a piece out of us, a piece that will never heal. Since she's been gone, her son celebrated his birthday without his mommy. We had Thanksgiving dinner without her beautiful face around the table. Courtney loved her nan's cooked Sunday dinner. She also loved butterflies and the color purple. Christmas was her favorite time of year. This year will be very difficult. I don't know how I'll be able to celebrate Christmas without her. The only thing that can ease our heartache is to find Courtney and give her the dignity of a proper burial. My daughter deserves that. We need that. I would love to be able to place flowers on her grave, to sit and talk and tell her how much I miss her and how much I love her. I am begging today for anyone, anybody who can help us find Courtney. Please, please come forward. As Courtney's mother, I cannot accept that we may never find her. I cannot accept that her son will never know where his mommy is. Please, I beg everybody and anybody to help us.
All right, folks, so that concludes today's press conference. Thank you for coming out.